Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Discord Q&A video. There's a lot of questions here, so I want to get into this. So if you want to take part in these Q&As, go follow us on Discord. The link is down below. The Discord name is Appetite for the Dead. It's a really great, really fun server. It is so much fun to communicate with all of you guys. There's a massive Walking Dead community there. We're growing so much each and every day, so I'd love to see you guys there. And as always, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. But let's actually get into the first question here. And so, Q&A, will Gabriel or Negan ever talk about Jadis communicating with the CRM or the helicopters? I really wonder about that. Honestly, that is something that has always felt so weird on the show, because they both saw the helicopters, but they never mentioned anything to anyone. Gabriel and Negan also have like this relationship going back to season 8, right? Like they just have this kind of weird bond where Negan likes to troll Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't really like Negan, but they both see each other's value, right? So it's an interesting relationship, and they both have that connection with Jadis as well. They both were almost traded to the Civic Republic, right? They both saw the helicopter. Why hasn't that ever really been brought up? It's the weirdest thing in the world. I hope that it's brought up in the movies. I think it would be really cool if at one point those characters could be in the movie, probably like the third one or something like that. Ooh, now that I'm thinking about it, actually, I just want to add this here. I wonder if the announcement, and I talked about this in a previous video, but I wonder if the announcement is, instead of another spin-off, what if they're going to do another, like just a Walking Dead movie in general? It has nothing to do with the main characters or anything like that, but it's based off the post-credit scene. It's literally just going to be a movie based off that. That could be kind of cool. Anyways, do you think Elizabeth will help Rick take down the CRM in the movies now that she got arrested? I would love that, to be honest. She is honestly a really great actress. The character of Elizabeth Kublek was probably the best part about World Beyond. And there's nothing about her that like taints her, you know what I mean? Like World Beyond never like tainted the character, whereas like when we see her, we're gonna think, oh, she's from World Beyond. She was always the best part about it, and I think she gave it a really awesome feel and tone and vibe. She really contributed to the story really amazingly. And I really feel like if she was in the movies, she would actually make the movies so much better. And I would love it if she joined the movies and actually helped Rick in trying to take down a Civic Republic, or like she had information, like maybe she's more self-serving. So like she's going to help him a little bit just to get out. But like she also she's like Jadis, she has her own motivations kind of thing. That would be so cool. Honestly, I would love it if that's what happened. And so, yeah, I'd be totally cool with that. I would honestly love to see Elizabeth Kublek a part of the Rick movies. Do you think that the Commonwealth will play a role in the Rick movies? I think eventually they will. I don't know if they will at first, though. Like definitely by the time the first movie comes out, they're not like, I don't even think the Commonwealth is going to be mentioned at all in the Rick movies or in the first movie. Like, they gotta establish a different universe. They gotta establish a different story, a different world. They gotta, you know what I mean? Like, just think about World Beyond and all the characters. Like, a lot of it we didn't like, but it was stuff that they actually needed to do. If you actually think about it, in season 1, they needed to focus on the characters like that much, because the show's about these characters. You need to lead with these characters, so that like this story is about them. It's not necessarily about the CRM. That's background stuff. This is about that main group, those 4 characters, but obviously they just miscast, and the characters were just kind of shit the entire time. No one liked them, and so that's why the show suffered. You know, the characters were so bad, and so the show became bad, and everyone was cheering for the Civic Republic to win, which is just a position you do not want to be in. And so, you know, I think the Rick movies need to be a little bit separated. But I think we need to meet new characters, and I think that's the cool thing about all of it, is that Rick is actually going to see some new characters, meet new people that I think are going to become fan favorites, because I'm sure they're not going to butcher that writing, right? Like I'm so sure they're not going to butcher that writing. I mean, just think of all the people we met in like season 7 and 8, 9, 10, you know. Connie's a new character. Connie was introduced in season 9. Look, like she's such a fan favorite right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you cast the right person, if your writing is really great, you can do anything. So, yeah, I think, you know, hold off on the Commonwealth for a bit. Introduce some new characters for the Rick movies. Like, have Rick have a new group. I think that'd be really cool. In the Rick movie, since Rick won't have his Colt Python revolver as his main gun, what do you think would be a great alternative pistol for him to help take out the running zombies, now that he will most likely be facing them? Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think of what the best weapon to use is, and what he's going to have. Like, I think it's going to be something like that. They got to have him have like this iconic weapon I don't know what he's going to have. Obviously, he will be reunited at some point with his Python, but I think as of now, it's going to be kind of whatever. You know, I think when the movies first start, at least in that first movie, I don't think the running zombies are necessarily going to be there. I think he'll be reunited with his gun by the time the running zombies even play a role in the story, unless he got shipped off to France. That's a big thing. Like, a lot of people are wondering, did Rick get shipped off to Europe? You know, that would be insane if that happened, because it's very possible that the Civic Republic are actually trying to create another base over there. That would be so cool. Imagine if Rick actually got shipped off over there. If that was their plan for Rick, was we need some great leaders because we want to start a new base somewhere else. Rick was one of those leaders. And so they're putting him in this position and shipped him off way, like, literally on the other side of the world. That would be so nuts. I know everyone thinks he's dead and stuff on the show, but it's just heartbreaking for Rick to be that far away. But it makes so much sense as to why he hasn't come back yet in 6 years. So I think, yeah, you know, that's probably where he is, to be honest. I think at first he's going to be wherever he's going to be, but he's probably over there. But how did he get there? Did they take a plane? Like, I don't know if the Civic Republic, you know, I don't know if they have that many resources, but it is very possible. And so I'm very curious on that. I mean, I guess they could have just took a ship across, right? I'm kind of rambling here a little bit on your question, but yeah, honestly, the more and more I think about it, it makes sense that Rick would probably be in France right now. If you had a choice of the timing of the release of the first Rick Grimes movie, would you choose winter as in beginning of the year, spring, summer, or fall, including like the end of the year? I ask because I've noticed most major hyped movies seem to do best in the spring, definitely summer and fall. Movies released in the beginning of the year are just usually not as hyped, liked, or recognized as good. I'm hoping summer to fall myself. Well, I would say, you know, if I had to pick a time for the Rick movie to come out, I would say fall, just because The Walking Dead usually comes out in the fall. But also, if I had to pick a second date, and also I'm kind of leaning on that being like my preferred date, is like spring, summer, you know, like come out in May. Just because, like, some shows, I don't know what show it would be, if it would be probably would be a spinoff, but it would end in April, and then like in May, the movie would come out. In May, a lot of people are going out to the movies. I would love it because it'll be spring. It would be really awesome to just be able to go to the movies and just have so much fun. And yeah, like, honestly, spring or fall for me. They could do the summer as well, but the summer, I think would kind of bury it a little bit, just because there's a lot of releases then. But yeah, spring or fall, I think that would work. I mean, you could do December as well, because December, a lot of people go to the movies just because it's the holidays and stuff. But, you know, Walking Dead fits the fall really well, but not a lot of people go to see movies in October. I mean, I guess they do. And this is going to be one of those lower budget like movies, right? So yeah, I don't know. I'll stick with those two answers. Spring or fall, I think would be really cool. What do you think of my Rick movie idea? Movie 1, where is Rick? What happened to him? And what is he struggling with? And what is he up to, sort of thing. Movie 2, Rick tries to prepare for war and secretly meets Michonne and collects people against CRM. Movie 3, The Walking Dead Endgame. All 3 series meet and fight against a CRM in a final battle for the future. I think that third one will definitely be that. In terms of the second one, preparing for war, this and that, I actually think that's going to be a big part of the first movie. It will be a part of the second movie as well, but in your first movie, like, you do have to kind of be like, what has he been up to, this and that. But I also think, you know, for a lot of people who are just going to go watch the movie, you know, who are just like, oh, I remember Rick Grimes, I watched the show however many years ago. You don't really care about like what he's been up to. You don't really care about that. You want to learn some of that, but the whole movie can't really be about that. You know, there's got to be some conflict, this final battle in the war sort of thing, right? And so I think that movie's got to focus on that. And that's why it's good that they actually have running zombies, because I think that's why Gimple came up with that idea. I think the current Walking Dead zombies don't work for any story anymore. At least it's not that exciting, right? You kind of had to go in this direction if you're going to do movies. You need to have something that fans are going to be super excited about, especially if you're competing with The Last of Us in like a year or two. Do you think they'll ever do a Walking Dead show that was as good as The Walking Dead and can sort of compete for what was the better show? Definitely. Oh yeah, like they can totally do that. Have a different cast. Like, yeah, shows, I always bring up Star Trek, but people compare Next Generation to the original series so much. And there's a bunch of other shows, right, that people say, well, this one was better. Like, I think, yeah, it is totally possible. You just need good writers there. That's really as simple as that. You need good writers and a good budget. You need a really good budget, because then you can make things very exciting and you have really cool set pieces. And honestly, you need that in this day and age. You really do. Like The Last of Us, each episode I think is worth 10 million, or they're making that's like that they have that much of a budget. Like that's insane. That show is going to be like top notch quality. But I mean, it's being done by HBO as well, right? Do you think a plot revolving around Rick being brainwashed by the CRM would be interesting? No, I don't really find that interesting. I think honestly, a plot like that would just be, I don't know. That reminds me of a soap opera. I wouldn't really be a fan of that. What are your expectations about the running walkers if they happen to show up in The Walking Dead Season 11 Part B? I don't have those expectations for that. I think if they're going to show up at all, it'll be in Part 3, but I don't even think that's going to happen. I think they're going to learn about them maybe in Part 2 or Part 3. They'll, like Daryl or some person will learn that there's something going on in France. There's more advanced walkers or something like that. You know, maybe they're going to start to learn that the Commonwealth had a hand in what happened, right? Or at least the governments of the world had a hand in what actually happened with the apocalypse. They'll learn that there's worse zombies out there, but I don't think we're actually going to see them. I think that's the future, as it should be. You know, I like the traditional, just like really just normal walker that kind of walks around slowly. That's defined The Walking Dead. I think the show should end with that walker, but the future, the spinoffs, the movies and stuff, should be on the new variant walker, right? But I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for posting all of your questions. I really enjoyed doing this Q&A. Definitely go follow us on the Discord if you want to take part of this in the future. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.